A young child is recovering today after falling ill with the plague in Yosemite National Park. Now, according to the California Department of Public Health, the child contracted the illness last month while on a camping trip with her family. A man in Colorado died earlier this week of the plague, making the total deaths 2 for the year. Dr. Devi Nampiaparampil is an assistant professor at the NYU School of Medicine, and she joins us now to break it all down, because I think when people hear the plague, it makes you nervous.
Sure.
Should we be nervous?
Well, I don't think we need to be worried just in general, but of course, if you're in these areas that are really wooded or in rural areas, then you should take some precautions. So in these cases, the concern is that you might get it from infected animals, rats. So it's possible that the child was playing with a dead animal or a dead rat, and that's how they contracted it. So there is some concern about that, but in general, I don't think people need to worry as they go about their day.
Okay, because it's associated with dead rodents and particularly the fleas.
The fleas, exactly.
Right.
So the fleas are the ones that actually carry the bacteria, and they transport them from rodent to rodent, and then by playing with either the fleas or the rodents, that's how humans contract it.
So you have a child who was camping, good possibility that child may have been in contact with a dead animal. Is that what you should avoid, basically?
Of course. That's the one thing you can avoid. The other thing is, if you're in these areas and you start coming down with flu-like symptoms, then you want to get checked out right away. I mean, I was actually impressed with these doctors for checking for the plague, because that's not something that people would normally think of, but they were able to diagnose it and at least start treatment.
So what are the symptoms? I mean, everything is a flu-like symptoms.
Sure.
Right? That's the way it starts?
Yeah, so you can get body aches, you can get fevers. I mean, you can have cough and cold symptoms, maybe some gastrointestinal symptoms. They're very non-specific usually with flu-like symptoms, but you usually start to develop them about 2 to 6 days after you've been exposed to the bacteria. So you want to kind of keep that in mind and then go get checked out. I mean, it's still more common to have other problems if that's the case, even the flu, right. But still it's important to start treatment if you suspect that.
Now, we've heard that one man has died, but this child is in recovery. What is the treatment?
Well, the treatment is antibiotics. So the thing is, the difference is probably related to how quickly the antibiotics were started. That's one thing. Sometimes children can be in better health because they might have stronger immune systems, so we don't know what the other medical problems were that the other people were suffering from. But the CDC says there's always a handful of cases pretty much every year. So this does come up, but the key is to actually get treated pretty early.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because when you hear about the plague, you think of the Middle Ages. You certainly don't think modern day developed country. What's going on?
So a lot of these bacteria, it's very hard to eradicate them completely. They always stay around, but we just decrease the numbers. It's very hard to get infected. Now, the thing is here, we never totally eliminated the plague. It was all around. But the thing is, it's not as deadly as it used to be. And part of that has to do with just our cleaner sanitation measures, things like that, so advances in public health. Then you've also got improvements in antibiotics. And then you've also got improvement in just awareness, so people knowing about it and getting treated early.
Right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Dr. Devi.
Nice to see you.